organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming up on Daily Iowan TV, locals trek for 13 miles from West Branch to Iowa City today. We'll tell you why.
And temperatures are getting icy for Occupy Iowa City protesters. Learn what they're doing to combat the cold.
And a loss for the Iowa football team this weekend. In sports, we'll give you all the footage to Michigan State's victory over the Hawks.
All that and more is coming your way next.
Daily Iowan TV starts now. Thanks for tuning into your Sunday edition of Daily Iowan TV, your television news, sports, and weather source of the Daily Iowan. I'm John Dedcott.
And I'm Emily Bussey. A group of more than 30 students and volunteers trekked roughly 13.5 miles today, all the way from West Branch to Iowa City as part of a peace walk advocating equal access to higher education. The participants ended up at Old Brick, where they ate and discussed their concerns with access to college for students from all economic backgrounds. Many of the walkers were from Scattergood Friends School, a Quaker boarding school in West Branch. Kiwanis members also joined. Scattergood School held similar peace walks in the 1960s and 80s to protest the Cold War.
Iowa City Councilor said increasing the tax fund used for road and bridge maintenance is one of their priorities for this legislative season. The road use tax fund comes from gas taxes and taxes paid when registering your vehicle, and councilors said they plan to lobby legislators to increase the fund. Senators told the Daily Iowan addressing this issue is long overdue, as the last time the tax fund was increased was in 1989. For necessary road maintenance in the state of Iowa, officials said they need $230 million more than their current fund of about $1.1 billion.
And Occupy Iowa City protesters have been camped out at College Green Park for more than a month now, but as the weather grows colder, demonstrators have to find a way to stay warm and sustain the cause. Demonstrators have come up with some innovative ways to keep their tents warm. They are going to raise their tents off the ground with pallets and use bags of leaves and straw as insulation both in and under the tents. They also said they're putting smaller tents inside larger ones for added insulation. Just last week, Iowa City officials revised the official permit for Occupy Iowa City to allow them to use what is perhaps their most important tool, the Arctic tent.
One great big Arctic tent that's ready to go. The city has given us clearance for another one, and they will be heated. They're designed for winter camping. We have some people within the group who are independently trying to raise funds to buy a second one.
While temperatures have been getting lower, the protesters cannot fully raise and insulate their tents until the ground is completely frozen.
And in the midst of their transition to winter, Occupy protesters are also focusing on mobilizing UI students. Protesters are urging students to participate in a demonstration Thursday, which would involve walking out of classes at 11:30 and then heading to the Pentacrest. Organizers said they plan to talk to students about their concerns with the corporatization of the university and teach them about activism. The event would take place in solidarity with similar national walkout demonstrations in New York.
And Veterans Affairs hospitals are bursting at the seams across the country. With the influx of veterans returning home, they're expected to get even busier. There are 152 VA centers in the United States providing care for more than 8.3 million veterans. Veterans Affairs officials said the tough economy is pushing more veterans to VA centers for care, and in some hospitals, patients are dealing with lengthy wait times and crowded facilities. Patient advisory committees said they're working to find solutions, which means renovating or expanding some of the hospitals. And still more to come from Daily Iowan TV, caucus contender Michelle Bachmann supports harsher interrogation tactics. Find out what she said about the War on Terror Sunday.
Plus, in sports, basketball was back in action. We'll show you who stood out in the Hawkeyes' first win of the season.
All of this and more to come, but first let's take a look at our local weather forecast from Daily Iowan's Giovanna Simic.
Thanks, guys. The cold weather has finally come and is here to stay. Tomorrow, we are expecting a high of 58 degrees and partly sunny skies. Better have an umbrella ready because tomorrow morning there is a 40% chance of rain with a high of 47 degrees. The temperatures will climb into the high 50s in the afternoon and in the evening will drop down to the low 40s. And looking at our extended forecast, Monday and Tuesday you can expect a high of 53 degrees with morning showers on Monday. The temperatures will drop down into the low 40s on Wednesday and Thursday, but will climb up to the 50s on Friday and Saturday just in time for Thanksgiving break. That's your check of the weather. Back to you guys at the desk.
A Cedar Falls man was arrested Saturday evening after allegedly carrying a BB gun into the Burlington Street Come and Go. According to police reports, officers arrived at the gas station after getting a call about a male armed with a handgun. 18-year-old Christian Ford reportedly took off running when officers arrived, and when Ford finally stopped, officers reportedly found a loaded BB gun in his waistband.
Republican presidential hopeful Jon Huntsman said he promotes U.S. foreign aid Sunday. The former Utah governor criticized his opponents for what he called soundbite campaigning against foreign aid. Huntsman was President Obama's first ambassador to China, and he supports a continued U.S. relationship with Pakistan. While on CBS's Face the Nation Sunday, Huntsman also said the U.S. must maintain relations with Islamabad. And another GOP caucus contender, Michelle Bachmann, criticized the Obama administration's efforts to fight terrorism. While Bachmann acknowledged Obama's success in bringing down Osama bin Laden, she insisted harsher interrogations need to be restored. On NBC's Meet the Press, Bachmann said it was a mistake to ban waterboarding torture. She said without such interrogation tactics, U.S. intelligence can't get the vital information it needs for the war on terror.
An Iowa City man was arrested after cops allegedly found marijuana in his vehicle, and he vomited up more marijuana during the search. According to police reports, officers arrested 22-year-old Christopher Williams after finding out there was a warrant for his arrest. Police reportedly found pot in his back seat, but during the search, Williams began vomiting up marijuana he had tried to swallow before they pulled him over.
And UI students gathered at the IMU last night to celebrate diversity through dance as part of International Education Week. Daily Iowan TV's Nick Rector was on hand for the story.
Last night, UI students put on their dancing shoes and gathered at the IMU for a new cultural experience. The Organization for Active Support of International Students, or OASIS, hosted the event, which included multicultural music, foreign dance performances, and lessons on dances like the East Coast Swing.
All the dancing groups, we also bringing the Hawkeye ballroom dancing team to teach people how to dance those ballroom dancing. So it should be a really amazing night, and I'm really enjoying it.
OASIS is a student-ran organization which aims to represent the culturally diverse UI student body. The group's main goal is to help international students gain a sense of belonging at the UI, and sometimes they even work as intermediaries between students and UI officials. The Cultural Ball was held to bring international students together and teach about the different cultures of the UI.
Several monthly culture events show up here. So for this semester, we have a restaurant crawl, and we have Japanese movie night, and we have this culture ball dinner. And for the coming year, the spring semester, we'll have bridging fiesta.
OASIS plans on holding a few more events before the year is over. So if you're an international student feeling lonely at the UI, look no further. Nick Rector, Daily Iowan TV.
More events for International Education Week include returning Peace Corps volunteers sharing their stories tomorrow afternoon at the University Capitol Center. And now let's go to Daily Iowan TV Sports' Nick Robertson for the latest on Hawkeye Athletics.
Saturday afternoon, the Hawks played their final game of the season in Kinnick Stadium. And in what hoped to be a memorable day for the Hawkeye seniors, turned out it was, but maybe not for the right reasons. Daily Iowan TV's Jake Abrams was at the game.
Herky vs. Sparty in a Big Ten showdown. This game could determine who goes to the Big Ten title game. However, unfortunately for the Hawkeye faithful, this game was all Michigan State. Early first quarter, Kirk Cousin finds B.J. Cunningham for the 6-yard touchdown. MSU up 7-zip. Next drive, James Vandenberg looking to score quick. Long pass intercepted by Johnny Adams at the Iowa 49-yard line, which would lead to another Kirk Cousins touchdown pass to Levon Bell. And Hawk fans have a reason to start to worry. Iowa looking to tie the game, so they go to their most threatening weapon, Marvin McNutt. He's looking to make one last splash in Kinnick Stadium with this incredible catch. Take another look at this one-handed catch. The ball was behind him, and that would lead to this C.J. Fedorowicz touchdown. James Vandenberg finds him in the end zone to make it 14-7 in the second quarter.
Number 1, baby!
But all around, Iowa didn't seem ready to play against this team. They couldn't keep the Spartans out of the end zone, and the Hawkeye offense had a hard time getting the ball in the end zone. Marcus Coker was only held to 60 yards on the day. And when Iowa had one last chance to try to put together a comeback, they just couldn't finish, as the Spartans easily take care of the Hawks, 37-21.
I mean, we put ourselves in a bad situation, didn't come out playing well in any of the 3 phases, and got ourselves down.
After the game, Micah Hyde said defensively this team wasn't ready to go from opening kickoff. However, offensively, only a few bright spots thanks to Marvin McNutt. Unfortunately for him and the rest of the senior class, they had to leave Kinnick for the last time on a sour note. For more on that, here's Ivana Simic.
4 years ago, 18 players learned they would play every single home game at Kinnick Stadium, and on Saturday afternoon, they played at Kinnick one last time. 18 seniors waited as the rest of the team ran out of the tunnel to be honored for their final moment in Hawkeye football. And although Iowa lost to Michigan State, it still was an experience these players will never forget.
My other senior partners and my family's out there. I just try to give it all, and I have to live with this memory for the rest of my life. My last time ever playing in Kinnick Stadium.
Some of the seniors that made an impact on the Iowa program are Sean Prater, Jordan Bernstein, and Broderick Binns. But the biggest impact was made by the record-breaking wide receiver Marvin McNutt, who didn't know 4 years ago that he would be leaving this way.
I'm, very emotional. A lot of memories flowing through my head at the time, and as well as just, times when things weren't so easy as far as, what I was going, if I were even going to get a chance to play here, and then the fact that I have and kind of blossom as a receiver is a great blessing.
McNutt holds the record for receiving yards and touchdown receptions, and he, along with the rest of the seniors, will surely be missed at Kinnick Stadium. Giovanna Simic, Daily Iowan TV Sports.
Hawkeye Hoops back in action. They welcome the Chicago State Cougars to Carver Hawkeye Arena for the season opener. A crowd of over 200 Dance Marathon members made it the largest crowd in opening night in 10 years. The first quarter, Devin Archie showing some highlights with the dunk off the Eric May miss. Josh Oglesby attempts the three, but the young Devin Marble rebounds, drives, and finishes to put the black and gold up 22-10. But the highlight of the night goes to freshman Aaron White. The freshman led the team in scoring as he nails the 4-point play here. He finished with a double-double. And we'll finish the night with a Marble Basabi exciting play as the Hawks cruise to their first win. Here's what Coach Fran McCaffrey had to say about his team's performance.
Our defense was really good early, both full and half court. Our intensity level was good. Our concentration was good. I was impressed with that.
The Hawkeyes are back in action Monday night against North Carolina A&T, but be on the lookout for Aaron White, who was able to get, as I said, a double-double in his first regular season debut. So you guys, plenty of good things to look forward to this season.
Thanks, Nick. And only with Daily Iowan TV can you get a sneak peek at Monday's pages of the Daily Iowan. Read about why a local firefighter recently received the Lifetime Achievement Award, plus read Daily Iowan Sports recap of the Hawks' loss to Michigan State this past weekend.
And before we go, here's one last look at Monday's weather forecast. You can expect partly sunny skies with a high of near 56 degrees going into the evening. We'll see partly cloudy weather and a low of 35 degrees.
That's your latest update from Daily Iowan TV. You can tune in tomorrow at the same time or check us out online at dailyiowan.com.
Thanks for watching and have a great day.